Hey everyone, I'm Natalie.
And I'm Corporate Bro.
And welcome back to Demoted. You might be wondering, what happened to Ross? He looks like a sexier, younger, just more spry, maybe a little more feminine version of himself. So Katrina is here in the studio this episode. For those of you who are expecting work advice, if you're expecting our typical run of show, it is going to be completely different. Katrina is going to ask me about my love life. She is going to ask me personal questions that I never thought I'd answer publicly. And for my followers out there who just want to get to know me, I never share my personal life on my socials, but you're going to get a sliver of that today. Are you ready, Katrina?
I'm so ready.
Katrina and I have lived together for about 4 years.
4 long years.
I know. And we met in college, I think.
Yeah.
When was the first time we met?
We met at my house in college, I think.
Yes.
I lived with our best friend, Mimi.
Yep.
Natalie grew up with her. And I remember like my first memory of you is you walking into my house.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is this girl with this big personality? She's acting as if like she runs this house.
No, totally. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is everyone wearing tonight? Where
Yeah,
are we
yeah, yeah.
What frat are we going
I was
to?
like, is she best friends with all my roommates already?
No,
like,
fully.
how did this happen?
Fully, just running the show.
Yeah.
So I got my first apartment out of college. I was living with other girls, and then Katrina was living at home, saving a little
Yes.
money.
And
Pro tip to any of you young people
Yeah.
out there, still rolling in that dough. from saving.
And I would stay at your apartment all
Every
the time
weekend.
because
It was
you
a
lived with
total
me.
win-win.
Yeah.
Total win-win. If you have a friend in the city, save money.
Yeah.
Right? And we decided to go to Hawaii actually during COVID when it was still like a
Yes.
little, like, are people traveling? I'm not
Yeah.
sure. And we told all of our friends and family that we were going to be living in Hawaii.
And it was 3.5 weeks.
It was 3.5
Yeah.
weeks. Like, we're not living there. We told everyone that. And then we decided, I think in Hawaii, like we have to live together.
Yes. And it's crazy because I remember this like specific moment where I think we only had known each other for maybe a year. And we were in a bathroom together, a little intoxicated, I have to say. And I remember we both looked at each other and we're like, how in the world, like, do we feel like we're best friends already?
Totally.
And it's only been a year. Like,
I know.
Not even.
It was so easy.
Yeah.
You're like a sister to me. And
Yeah.
I rarely say it. Like, we're just so close.
I know.
Katrina and I also have both played volleyball our whole lives.
Oh my
We
God.
share that trauma.
R.I.P.
From the sport courts, from just the early days of high ponytails
Yeah.
and
First love of my life.
first love of
honestly.
my life,
Yeah.
truly. She is one of the most kind, empathetic people I know.
Don't
and
make me cry.
today, she's going to grill me
Yeah.
on some questions that I've really never answered publicly.
Oh, gosh.
Like just the ins and outs of who is real Natalie?
Yeah.
Who's the Natalie behind corporate Natalie?
Yeah, we're going to peel the onion today, folks.
We are going to peel the onion.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's cue the music.
Demoted.
Welcome back to Demoted, solo episode, roommate edition. Today, the rundown of our episode, we're going to do a little like roommate co-founder Natalie section where I'm going to ask Katrina what it's like living and working with me.
Living in your skin.
Living literally. And we had a 900 square foot apartment. We'll
Yeah.
talk about the memories there.
Yes.
And then we'll do a Dear Demoted segment. We'll get Katrina's feedback. Katrina is a corporate gal also. She works a 9 to 5. She works at a tech bank. She's a relationship manager. And I feel like you really are a mentor to a lot of our friends with like their jobs.
Yeah,
I think
I
you're
appreciate
really,
you saying that.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're just a beast. You crush it. You got early promotion. Like you are a beast. So let's not forget that here in the Demoted studio. Then we'll do a corporate Natalie Uncovered segment where I actually asked all of my followers to submit questions on my Instagram of like things I've never told before. What do you want to know about me?
Yes.
And Katrina will facilitate that kind
I'm
of
excited
interview.
for that one.
Yep, very excited. And then we'll do a little promoted or demoted with some stories from our friendship and life together.
Oh gosh.
They might get a little specific, but they also might get dark. So that's the agenda for today. Let's get into the roommates and co-founders section.
Yes.
What was I like? Let's just start. Like, what was I like before corporate Natalie?
I mean, initial, opinions of you when I first met you, I was like, this girl has such a big personality that really makes me feel so comfortable. And I don't know if a lot of people like can put those two together. Sometimes you can say like girls with big personalities kind of like annoy me, whatever.
Off-putting.
But like right off the bat, you made me feel so like loved, comfortable, able to open up really easily, which I always tell you, like you're the reason why I'm more outspoken. I feel more confident.
Yeah.
I'm able to just really share more parts of myself.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
God, and for those of you listening audio only, like I'm not holding a gun to her head. Like she's coming out and saying these things. Okay, I didn't force this. So how am I as a roommate?
I'm going to say this as nicely as possible.
You know what? Just tell them. Just tell them.
Natalie likes things to be nice, neat, done efficiently, done well.
The type A roommate videos that I make
Yes.
are actually a personal reflection.
Yes, but it really helps me, I would say. And
That's a nice way of putting it.
I'll give a specific story. I think this will show what Natalie is truly like. So pre-games, us girls love to host pre-games. We love to have people over. That was like our thing. We had a lot of people over all the time.
We're the frat house of San Francisco.
And we loved it. We loved to be hosts. And for me, I'm like, let's just order alcohol, order, chasers.
Oh, that's not going to cut it.
No. So we're in an Uber. I think we were going somewhere, and we have another roommate, and Natalie's typing away. And I'm like, what is she typing over there? And then she turns to me, shows me her phone, and she goes, "Is this okay to send our roommate?" And I go, "That's a task list.
It was a 50 line item task list.
Yes.
Assigned. We have 2 other roommates actually.
Yeah.
Assigned tasks by person. Ice, Caitlin.
Yes.
Cleaning up the sink, Courtney.
Yes.
Like everyone had a task and something to get.
Yes.
I remember very distinctly you said to me, "No, that's not going to fly."
I said, "That's not okay.
That's not okay. We can't send that to our friends and roommates."
But it shows that you do check-ins with me, and I'm able to bring you back down to earth.
And I mean, why is our house the best place to host? Because we got everything. We throw the
got-
best
we got a
parties. We
chip
got
bowl.
chips. We got all the booze
got
you
confetti.
want. We got confetti. I'm like, should we get the napkins just in case? We
You
got
want
beer
Sour
pong.
Patch Kids? We have
We
them.
have it. Like anything anyone could need. So yeah, am I a little bit of a psycho? Maybe.
But
is our house spotless? Yes.
The end product is always great.
Exactly. What else about living with me? I mean, we get a little free PR.
Oh my God,
talk
keep
about
it coming.
Can we talk about the good things?
Keep it coming. I mean, all my clothes are from you, pretty much.
We'll get just packages and be like,
Yes.
party time. Let's rip this open.
Natalie, just share it all.
Split 4 ways.
Share it all. Yeah.
What is something about me that maybe our listeners wouldn't know? And I feel like a lot of this stuff will be kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But any
I love this
particular
question.
quality?
One thing that I can pinpoint is, you are so confident. I think in a group of girls, you're very confident. You speak your mind. You're like the comedian. You like really own the room. And when you speak at like your events or even at like conferences, you're so good on stage. But I think when it comes to dating and boys, you're a little bit more like you hold back, which
Totally.
shocks me.
Totally.
And I see it like you get shy.
I think people are like,
Yeah.
you're such a ball buster.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm so shy. Like if someone said, take 2 shots straight of alcohol right now or go say hi to a guy at the
Yeah.
bar, I'd be like, oh, give me the shots.
take
like,
4.
I'd take 4. Like I'm so scared.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's an interesting take.
I know. And
Yeah.
I think we're going to talk about it more later as
Maybe
well.
there was a lot of dating questions,
Yeah.
obviously, that we'll get to. So outside of roommates, Katrina and I are also co-founders.
Yes, we
which I think
are.
is a very special bond
Yes.
and connection that we share that not a lot of friends can say
No.
they do. So we own a business together.
Yes.
It's called Expand VA.
Woohoo!
Do you want to share I always share the origin story of the
Yeah.
company from my POV, but
Yeah.
do you want to share from your perspective as my co-founder
Yes.
and roommate at the time,
Yeah.
how this kind of came to be?
Yeah, well, Natalie mentioned earlier, we lived in like a 900 square foot apartment.
Yes.
And so at the time, we were both working from home, and I was literally like living in your skin. I would hear every call, every video, every recording.
Totally.
And honestly, like I loved it just because I was so intrigued by this industry, like the influencer marketing industry. It was booming at the time. I didn't really understand it, nor did I have any involvement in it prior to you.
Yeah.
And so I would see everything that goes into it behind the scenes, like all the admin work, the legal contracts, like the ins and outs.
Invoicing,
Yeah.
like
invoicing,
PR, the fun
yes.
stuff too, and then also not so fun
Yeah,
stuff.
the emails, like the 100 emails that you would get, and that you would be drowning in all this work. And I'd be like, oh my God, let me help you. Let me talk you through this. Like you were really stressed, especially when you had your full-time job.
Totally. And you became like in that moment kind of a stand-in brand
Yeah.
manager. Like you would help me with the content. We
Yeah.
would whiteboard stuff, and it
Yeah.
just like together we kind of realized like, wow, this is really hard and there
Yeah.
is help needed. And so I at the time got a virtual assistant
Yes.
through a company, a ton of them exist. And I realized they don't have the, like you're saying, influencer industry wherewithal or knowledge of like social media
Yeah.
and those best practices to be able to like jump in and help you. There was so much training that went into it.
Yeah, and I remember you're like, I love my virtual assistant. She's really helping, but there are a lot of things that I have to teach.
Totally.
Even like the lingo. that
Yeah.
Some people don't even realize there's certain terms that come in the industry.
I know.
That other people
And
wouldn't
creators are
understand.
so like go that it's like
Yes.
taking the training time. Of course, me being a corporate background,
Yeah.
I'm like, great, here's the training module,
Yes.
whatever. But we founded Expand VA to pair
Yes.
people wanting kind of a side hustle to do part-time assistant work with creators and influencers.
And we would train these VAs
Yep.
With all the knowledge they need to really support creators, analytics.
Yep, exactly.
Answering emails with brands.
Yeah, making event itineraries when you head to like events as a creator. So there's a ton of stuff, but it's been really fulfilling. I'm often asked on panels, what is it like living with your co-founder, being friends and also having a business together? And I think what I would say is not everyone can do it.
No.
It is difficult.
Yeah. A lot of people say you shouldn't
mix business with pleasure.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Sure. But I think we are very comfortable with like having clear, candid conversations, giving feedback, saying like, actually, I don't love that idea.
Yes.
And there's so many women will be like, there's bits on TikTok, like girls trying to give feedback. And it's like, okay, so first of all, I love what you're doing and you're incredible in every way. If there's any possible way you could like, like just not able to deliver that. And I think we are very candid with each other.
I think living together and just being with each other constantly, we've learned to really respect each other in the way we speak.
Yeah.
I think that's very important when you start a business with a friend. You should be able to receive feedback and give feedback.
Yeah.
And be able to take that,
that mutual respect.
Yeah, that mutual respect. We love to be around each other. I feel like we both like we really come together with ideas, and we're both very
excited about it. We have similar drive. Like, I think that's why it's been successful and hasn't been like a friendship ender.
No.
If anything, it's a friendship grower. And we always joke, we like put on our founder hats and then we put on our roommate hats. We'll go from like a serious meeting and then we'll just be like, okay, do you want to watch a movie?
Yeah.
We'll shift. I guess, why did you want to start a business with me?
Why did you even ask? Of course I would love to start a business with you. You're corporate Natalie. I mean, like this specific business, like a virtual assistant business for influencers.
Yeah.
Obviously you come with the expertise. You know the ins and outs of the business really well. I mean, you ran your business alone for a very long time. And that's so impressive. Like a lot of people don't realize influencers get agencies right away, or, you know, they get managed, and you ran your business and like, you just know what it takes to be successful as like a solo founder. And then you now have the best, Annie, as also your like biggest supporter. But at the end of the day, like you are a businesswoman and you've succeeded so well as a founder of like,
again, I am empire. Not holding a gun to her head.
She's
guys.
not.
Like this is just you saying all these loving things
so
about
nice.
me. You're so nice. Okay, so the next line of questioning I want to get into is about being in a public eye.
Yeah.
And I think obviously my life has changed immensely. I feel like we went from just living a normal, fun life to like
normal girls.
We were so normal. No, but like things have changed so drastically. But I do think things have changed for you too. Like 100%. I'll get recognized and people are like, wait, I know you from the videos. You're her roommate. You're Katrina. Like it does come with a little notoriety for you as well. And I do think our lives both have changed. So how has your life changed being in the public eye a little bit?
I mean, like as Natalie mentioned earlier, I'm a relationship manager at a tech bank and I have to host a lot of events for my clients. And one time I was at my event and someone came up to me and they're like, oh my God, like you're corporate Natalie's roommate. And I'm like, I'm also your relationship manager. I'm
like, and also you could sign with my bank right now.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, my life has changed so much. I mean, and I think it just goes to show that you're just such a generous person because but you've included me in a lot of your like career and like a lot of the positive things that have come with being corporate Natalie. And I feel so grateful.
Oh my gosh. There's positives and negatives. I think one of the most formative moments we had was at Paycom.
Oh my God. Best trip,
literally. So to explain this story, I was asked to act in a series of commercials for Paycom, this HR software company. And I was flown out to Kansas City. And when I'm realizing that I'm going to be doing a commercial shoot, I have no idea. Like I'm used to filming myself alone in my bedroom. What do you mean I'm going to be in a commercial? I've never been on set before.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm going to need my assistant to come, Katrina, if that's okay. They're like, oh yeah, sure. We'll pay for a flight. We'll get her a hotel, everything. So my assistant, Katrina, comes with me and we have bamboozled this entire team into thinking that Katrina's my assistant. Like, meanwhile, we lived together. We were like, oh, it's fine. We'll just share a room. They thought that was weird.
Yeah.
It's fine. So Katrina comes out with me to Kansas City. We have no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
All we know is that they've been asking about some details about my room, like my bedroom. I had a very distinct, like kind of basket lampshade. Like I had things in my room that were probably like you guys now, if you watch my videos, can tell like my bedding and you know my bedroom. We were asked a bunch of questions about like links to things and what the room would look like. We didn't really know what was happening. We walk on set.
Oh my God.
And they have recreated my entire bedroom. Our entire apartment is recreated on a set. There's like a 50-person art department mocking up my makeup rounds, my desk, my robe is hanging the exact robe that
Balls
I wore.
Of hair.
Hair in your brush, you gross. Like just everything was so accurate. It was crazy.
I was just absolutely bewildered when I walked in.
What was it like walking on set?
The craziest thing is obviously I was like, this is the most amazing thing in Natalie's career. Like it was at the time, like you were doing so well, you know, you were doing like so many brand deals, like your following was growing, but this was like really
different.
Like an aha moment.
Yeah.
And I remember walking in to set, I was like in my little Madewell outfit. And I remember walking in and I was like, everyone is staring at us. Like, why is everyone? Like,
we're Kim K.
We're literally Kim K.
Yeah. Like we're so
and they're
famous.
like, are you okay? Do you need water?
They're like, talent's flying in. Katrina's like, is she talking about you, bitch? Who is she talking about?
do you need a snack? I look at the snack bar. It's like, hello, Panda.
Well, they've customized it. They've asked like, what do you, Katrina, want to eat? Like everything is like made for us. We're freaking out. And let me just say, side note, you stepped up to this role of assistant like so well.
You would have thought I was a bodyguard.
You would have thought you were an agent in Hollywood, bodyguard. I mean, she's like, Natalie's gonna need her latte. Like Natalie's gonna need this. Like, I'm sorry, can we fly in a makeup artist? Like, we're not loving how the makeup looks. Like,
I'd be like, is this oat milk or is this almond
milk?
milk?
They called you into a one-on-one meeting with the producer.
100%.
The producer of the commercials. I'm like, what are you doing in the top office?
Yeah.
She's like, sorry, now I have to take a 30-minute meeting. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what am I doing here?
I really loved being an actress.
You really stepped up. You really stepped up. You were running that entire crew.
Running that whole place.
And what were kind of your learnings from that experience?
I mean, for me, I think that was one of my favorite moments of your career because I really saw you shine in front of the camera. Like the whole crew was so in love with you and they had nothing but great things to say about you. And I truly in that moment was like, this is what Natalie is meant to do. And she's just going to do more of this and continue to grow. And that was for me where I'm like, this is the best thing and decision that you've ever done.
It was,
and
I
it was
agree.
just, I mean, like the camera loved you. Like you did so well. They never had any like critique for you.
No,
And you were
it was all improv. They were like, they would let you like roll with it.
And people would be laughing so hard whenever you would like run with the jokes.
You're not allowed to like break as a crew because you want it to be silent for sound. And if I didn't make the whole crew break, like I had failed. I had failed. And I remember on the last day, they wrapped. They were like, that's a wrap on Natalie.
Oh my God.
And I started bawling.
Oh my God. I started bawling.
You were bawling.
There
was a photo of us hugging.
It was 100 degrees. I was sweating. My upper lip was completely wet.
We're like sobbing.
And I remember running to you and I was like, oh my God, like I cannot believe this is real.
I know. And then we were just crying the whole plane ride home. It was like just so emotional.
You did not stop crying.
I couldn't. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. I still have those moments.
We were eating Chick-fil-A at the airport and I'd be like, why are you crying?
Like, I'm like, eat it. I don't know.
Does it taste wrong?
I can't believe I did this. So that was a core memory of my career and our friendship because you were just so supportive and so there for me. So I love you. Not many friends would fly out, take PTO to go with their friend for a shoot.
And I feel grateful that like I've seen so many big moments of your career. It's like so special.
You've seen them all.
I know.
You quite literally live right above me.
I know.
Now, or on top of me. Let's talk about moments of recognition and maybe some moments of like, oh, you're being recognized in a potentially compromising position. And what I mean by this is like when I started Corporate Natalie, I was 22 years old.
Yeah.
We were just fresh out of college. Like I'm going out in the city. I'm getting drunk.
We're supposed to make mistakes.
We're supposed to make memories. I'm like, and then I started like growing this following and having this corporate, respectable presence. And I'm like, well, how does this play with me wanting to party with my friends?
I mean, you love to party.
I do.
I do too.
I do love to party.
You do.
I know, especially then. I mean, it's like, whatever. Now we're 27 and it's changed a little bit, but like, have there been any moments of like, God, Natalie, you shouldn't be in public right now?
I mean, the one that I can think of is SantaCon. I mean, people who know what SantaCon is, it's just a day of drinking.
Just all you do is drink.
You start the day with a Santa hat. You end the day with no Santa hat.
No Santa hat. And your makeup smudged all over.
Your red lipstick is like on your cheek.
I look like just a deranged Mrs. Claus.
Yeah.
I mean, it was terrifying.
Fake lash on your cheek.
Fake lash on my cheek. Like I looked horrible. And everyone had stopped partying.
Oh yeah. And what did we decide to do?
Let's go out.
Yeah.
Let's go to another bar.
Natalie can convince me of anything.
We had been drinking for 8 hours. Yes. No, you know what? I want another vodka soda. Let's go out. And we went out. And I just so distinctly remember Katrina being like, we need to go home.
Yes.
And why was that?
I mean, people at this bar, we're recognizing you from every corner. Like
It was the worst possible moment
And
to be
I
the
was
most famous
scared.
person on earth.
yeah, I was like looking, and a girl, her mouth would be like agape, and I'd be like,
And I've never been recognized this much in my
Yes.
life. It's like, why am I? Probably because I was screaming because
Yeah.
I was drunk. Like, who knows?
and I was starting to get scared that like I don't want her to just be in a compromising situation.
we pulled me out of there fast.
I mean, I turned into a bodyguard.
But please say hi if you see me in public.
Yeah.
If I'm drunk, apologies in advance. So that was a little corporate Natalie as a roommate, as a co-founder from Katrina's perspective.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break and do a Dear Demoted. Ross is not here again. Ross, we're so sorry. But as a corporate baddie, Katrina will be stepping in to give some advice. So Dear Demoted is where our followers write into us and we give our advice on what you should do in this situation. I'm going to kick us off.
Okay.
Hi, Demoted team. I'm 23. I graduated a year ago. I work in internal comms for another broy asset manager real estate, blah, blah, blah company. I've had a public IG for a while. If I'm honest, it's because I like when my exes or old friends check up on me. And I know other people look me up and I have nothing to hide. I don't do dances or bikini pics. It's mostly traveling and fun life moments with friends. A few of my managers follow me. Some male managers are hidden on my story. They just followed me out of nowhere. It was never like exchanged at a gathering. I assume they looked me up one day. I have some female managers who follow me as well, which I don't mind. But knowing that I have work people on my IG makes me feel like I need to be a little bit extra on my best behavior. I have my direct reports hidden from my stories for quite a while. On a recent work trip, I think she noticed it was hidden, but I played it off coolly. What are your thoughts? Should IG pages always be kept private when you enter a corporate space? Did I make a mistake having my page public? Is it weird if I remove all my managers? Is this just a phase of growing up? Should I be mature and let it be? Again, I have nothing to hide, but it does feel odd when it feels like you have to be on your best behavior on social media at all times. Cheers and thanks.
Wow.
Let's get your thoughts.
I mean, for me, how I've viewed social media and like Instagram, not that I post a lot, but I always viewed it for myself. It's for me. It's for my friends, I guess. I want to share good memories.
You have very private channels.
Yes,
yeah.
but I would never want to walk into work and feel uncomfortable. Like I hate that. I like things to be separate.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
Like if you're already kind of hiding people from your stories and you're uncomfortable with some aspects of what you're posting, I do think you should just keep your personal life personal. I mean, and it's hard for me to say, obviously I have like a ton of followers, but I don't post my personal life on corporate Natalie. True. Like I do keep it very clean. And there have been moments of like, oh gosh, maybe I'm drunk like at a Giants game and I shouldn't be posting right now. And I have learned from that. But like, I do think putting yourself in a position where you wouldn't walk in and show everyone the photo in your office might not be the best call.
Yeah. And I don't ever want to feel talked about. Like, what if I post a video of me on a mechanical bull?
Like, no one wants to see that. And let me just say, I've done it before.
Yeah.
I've done it before.
When I've drank a little too much and I just post a random story.
Some memories are just for us.
You never know who's watching it if you're public.
Know.
Yeah.
So I'm pro keep it private.
Yes.
Don't let your team on.
Yes.
My friends, we were just talking about this in Florida as well. They were like, yeah, my manager requested to follow me. I'm just like leaving it there. It's just like, they don't need to know you outside of, if they're like your friend, maybe I do think there's a line there.
It's also like for future job opportunities as well.
Totally.
If you think about it that way, like anyone can view your page. You don't want to be judged by that, you know?
Up to you. I would keep it private. I would remove everyone.
Yeah.
But that's like, I don't know.
Demote them.
You can, demote. You can always walk it back. That was Dear Demoted. Let's get into Corp Nat Uncovered.
Oh, I'm excited.
Are you excited?
Yes.
So I asked my followers just what juicy tea they want to know about me.
Oh,
and I'm going to let you facilitate some of these questions. Some of them I think are just kind of jokes.
Yeah.
But let's get into it. Put me in the hot seat.
Okay, Natalie, are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you scared?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start with some rapid fire questions. I like these. Where did you go to college?
University of Notre Dame. If you haven't listened to our college episode, I talk all about it. I wanted to get into the best school. Such a try hard.
Of course you did. Of course.
Such a try hard. Cried if I didn't get an A in class. Like yes. Listen to that episode for sure.
Okay, where are you from originally?
I am from the Bay Area.
So am I.
Yes. We live like 40 minutes from where we live in San Francisco now, and we go home quite often.
Yeah.
It's so nice being close to my parents. People
love
always
my
ask
parents.
like, would you move to LA? Would you move to New York? And I love my parents. I love my family. We live down the street from my brother, Harry.
Oh, I miss Harry.
He like comes to our house and just like drops in and says hi. So it would be hard for me to lose that.
And you lived away for college. So
Yeah,
it makes
I went
sense.
away for college.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why did your parents name you Corporate? Is that a family name? Like what?
Yes, it was my grandmother's.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
And how does it feel to be famous?
Well, I'm not famous, so please. I get asked this a lot. Like people will randomly
You
DM me,
are
like, how does it feel to
famous.
be famous?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. It's a lot of pressure. Like
Yeah.
you're saying, like when we're going out, we're letting loose. I am always aware of how I'm presenting myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard as a comedian too. If you have an off day, you're not really allowed to have an off day.
Yeah.
And I've had like days where I'm just like crying on a walk, like with my big glasses on, like just, I don't know, just feeling emotional about
Yeah.
things, being in the public eye and having the possibility of someone just like in such good faith, just recognizing me and wanting to say hi and talk to me in that moment. It's
Yeah.
like, it's hard to always be open to that because sometimes I do just want to be in my own element.
Yeah.
But like, it's so exciting. It comes with so many incredible opportunities. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
And I also think like you've always said, like, I live in San Francisco for a reason. Like I could have fully moved to LA.
Totally.
But you stayed here because you like feeling grounded. I don't know if that's the right way to say it.
I mean, I live with like 3 girls, like
normal,
like we live in a little
girls.
frat house.
Yeah.
Like I love it. You
Yeah.
know, I wouldn't trade that for the world.
Okay, next question, and this one's interesting. How much for your feet?
Oh my, Katrina, the foot questions need to stop.
How many do you get?
I get at least 2 a day.
Oh my God.
It's insane.
Do you show your feet in your
Never.
videos?
I won't even wear open toed anymore. I'm too afraid.
Open toe.
So how much? I mean, that's definitely up for negotiation, but
I mean, she's a master negotiator, so yeah.
no, not selling the old feet anytime soon.
Next question, MFK, Big Four firms.
You guys are so creative. You guys are so creative. MFK, for those of you who don't know, hi, mom and dad, marry, hook up with, and kill. Big Four firms. I'm going to marry Deloitte. We have a history. It just makes sense.
Marry the ex.
They have their stuff together. They have
Okay.
a big presence. I like them.
Okay.
Probably banging PwC. I think they have a lot of fun.
Wow.
Vulgar.
Vulgar, for sure.
Killing KPMG. I'm sorry. I don't have any explanation. It makes sense to me.
Next question, best advice to create a morning routine you're excited about.
My one thing I say about mornings, and I am so annoying about this on my channel, is I'm like, come with me for a day in my life. And I wake up at 5 a.m. Waking up earlier has changed my life. I think you and I similarly like just have shifted our schedules a bit earlier living in this new house.
Oh my God, we used to sleep in.
We used to sleep till like 9.
We never moved our bodies. We
Never
would
moved.
sleep in.
Didn't walk. We'd
No.
sleep. We just wake up earlier and we have that time in the day for
Yeah.
us and to like work out. And like before the hectic life of work and everything starts, like it's just time for you.
Yeah. I mean, you're running around at 5 a.m. I hear
You
it
hear me
from my room.
I know. I'm like throwing in a load of laundry. I'm doing everything. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have stuff to do.
Yeah. Are you still sober curious?
I had a big sober stint and it was after a big night.
Yeah.
You know, and
where,
I think
where I was there.
I think in your late 20s, you have moments where you're like, I can't keep doing this
Yeah.
anymore. And I had a pretty big moment. I was sober for about like 3 months. And I think I'll always be sober curious. Like I'll never wake up after a night of drinking and be like, yes, let's do it again. Like we wake up every morning. We're like, God,
Oh
that
my
was,
God.
even if you have 2 glasses of wine, you're like, I'm just fuzzy.
I
Like,
say it once a week. I want to be sober.
you say I want to be sober once a week.
Oh my gosh.
You do.
Yes.
You're maybe more curious than me, but I think I will always be sober curious.
Okay.
And I think I'll go through stints. It was really nice to have that reset.
Yeah.
But
you have
like-
good like self check-ins.
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like.
good to check
Yeah.
in. Like if you're ever letting loose a little too much, like
Yeah.
let's pull it back.
Yeah. Have your parents been so lovingly supportive of you and your dreams?
You know my parents.
Oh, I mean, I love Kim and Jim.
How do
so
you view it
much.
from the outside?
I mean, they're the most supportive parents. Like even before Corporate Natalie, your mom was always just like at our house supporting you in any way possible.
Totally.
And
And they like never put pressure on me with
No,
anything in my life.
no.
It was always like put on myself.
they do everything to make sure that like you're okay, you feel happy.
Totally.
They will drive miles to support you. Like
I know.
they're the best. I mean, they've adopted me.
They are the best. And you're
Yeah.
the adopted daughter.
I mean, they let me stay at your house for 4 days straight.
no, literally my mom was like, hey, Katrina, when are you planning on heading out?
And I was like, wait, you're not making breakfast?
Wait, what do you
again?
mean? I thought we were doing the whole thing over again.
And your brother put on the mirror, hey, Katrina, this is a shared bathroom.
Yeah. Fun fact about me that maybe the followers
Yeah.
don't know. I have a Jack and Jill bathroom
Yes.
with my brother that we shared my entire childhood
Yes.
growing up. So
Yes.
that was great. No, my parents are so loving and supportive. I could not do this without them.
Yeah.
I think they were like definitely hesitant in the beginning of Corporate Natalie.
They were
as
scared.
any parent
Yeah.
would be. Like you're putting yourself out there online. You have a job, you could lose that job.
And like our parents are all about like stability, like having
Totally.
that normal,
As they should
stable
be.
9 to 5,
Yeah.
which is fair.
But now they're like, I mean, take a risk,
Yeah.
sweetheart. Let's do it.
I mean,
you
they
know?
love it.
They
They
love
love
it.
being in the videos. They love going to watch you talk. Like
We
it's
went
the
to like
best.
we were playing pickleball as a family. My mom's like, "Are you going to film us?" I'm like, "I don't know. I was thinking of just playing.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Could we not?"
I mean, your parents light up when they get to be in a video.
They love it.
Yeah.
They love it.
Okay, next section, which is my favorite, love life.
Love life.
Yes.
Did you categorize these?
Of course I did.
Okay. Okay.
I'm so organized. Okay, first question. Weirdest date you've ever been on?
Okay. I have two that come to mind. You
I
know,
know,
both
I
of
know
these.
exactly what you're going to say.
One, I went on a date with a guy and the whole thing was just like so odd. We were not clicking. He was screaming in a very quiet restaurant. And I'm so aware of the people
Yes.
around me. Like that was not okay for me. I was like, please, can we turn it down? Just, I said twice, like, hi, I think you're a little loud, like from across the table. So awkward. 3/4 of the way in, he said two things that just rocked my world in a bad way. One was, sorry, I took a few shrooms before I came here. What?
Why?
Wait, what? What do you mean? That's terrifying. You're
That's
taking
so
shrooms for a
terrifying.
first date? Oh my God, you're not going to be my partner. Then, so I'm already scared. I'm like, well, like, let's eat the Branzino, get out of here. It was
Yeah.
dinner, which is terrifying to be trapped in that. Shortly after, he's like, I'm really enjoying this. How are you feeling about this? I'd love to take you on another date. Like the verbal check-in. And it was the first time in my life where I was like, honestly, I don't know if I see this going anywhere. So that was horrible. The next story is I went on a date with this guy and I don't know how to describe it, but I kind of like anti-ghosted him very nicely. I was like, I don't see this going anywhere or whatever. We didn't go on a second date. He texted me like 6 months later. Hey, Natalie, I just wanted you to know I went on this like really cool retreat. And he was also like an aspiring comedian, which was strange. I really think this retreat would be awesome for you and your comedy and your brand. Here's some information on it. And by the way, it's an ayahuasca retreat.
What?
Hang on.
Excuse me?
You want me to go on a drug retreat with you? Wait, I don't want to do ayahuasca with you.
I already anti-ghosted you. I told you I'm not interested.
I told you I don't want a future with you.
Why would I want to go to on
A
a
retreat with you and do drugs and be scared. Why do all these involve drugs? So two quite odd dating stories,
Yes.
but yes.
Okay, next question.
Oh my God.
I love this question. What's your type?
Okay.
I mean, Natalie's dated all different types, shapes, sizes, personalities. It's like Skittles.
No, it's literally Skittles.
Yeah.
I like don't have a type. I will stand by this. I think having a type is incredibly limiting.
I have a type.
Well, every girl.
Yeah.
Kate, all of our roommates are like,
No,
I
it's
want this,
extremely
this.
limiting.
I want. It's
It
like
is.
super limiting. Like I am just a lover of all men.
You really are.
I really am. I'm like, if you make me laugh, if you're like fun, like I don't really care what you look like.
You're the best at dating.
I'm
really
really
are.
yeah, I am because I
you
just
were
like
so
am open
interested.
to it.
Yeah, and you really want to like dissect a human, like
Totally.
and you make boys feel so like comfortable, you know?
That's hilarious. But yeah, I don't have a type at all.
Okay, what is it like being the most beautiful woman ever created?
You know, we had to throw that in there from from the AMAs. It's fun to have a few simps in my DMs.
Yeah.
It really is. And being the most beautiful woman ever created is exhausting sometimes. It's really tiring.
I mean, how often do you get hit on in your DMs?
Just constant. No, there are a few just like kind of repeat customers
Yeah.
that are like I've let into my general that just every day something nice. To those of you, like I'm thankful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like
Yeah.
you really keep me going.
It's a confidence booster.
It's a total confidence booster. I
Yeah.
also get hate every single day
Yeah.
in parallel. So like,
Yeah.
don't think it's all good. But for like the three of you who
Yeah.
really just uplift me, thank you for that.
Well, this goes into the next question. Would you date a follower?
Katrina, you know how this went. I've never told this story
I know.
publicly.
I'm really excited.
I dated someone who slid into my DMs when I was very early on in my corporate Natalie career. He was cute. He was tall. He didn't even live in San Francisco, and he was like visiting. And I was like, okay, we'll go on a date, whatever. Like
I mean, we were
I'll
having
try anything once.
a taco party.
Yeah, we were having a taco party. Oh my God. And he
Yes.
came. We dated for like 6 months.
Yeah.
He kind of broke me a little bit. But the moral of the story is like he ended it with me because he was like, I really can't be with someone with a following. I was like, that's totally fine. And honestly, I respect that. Like, thank you for saying that now.
Yeah.
Like it is hard to be with someone in the spotlight.
Did that scar you when he ended it because of that? Obviously,
Well, so
yeah.
in that moment, I was like, it's weird because you slid into my DMs.
Yeah.
So you know what I do.
Yes.
You know who I am from my platform. So that was
Yes.
kind of odd. But
Yeah.
that didn't like scar me. I honestly, like you remember, I was very much like, okay,
Yeah.
like this is fine. We'll move on.
Yeah.
I don't think it was like a, insane heartbreak.
Yeah.
But then, a few months later, they released the cast of The Bachelorette.
Yes.
And he's on it.
And do you remember you were like, I had a dream.
Oh my God. I literally had like a nightmare.
I literally think you have like witch powers.
No, I do.
You do.
I do. I had it. I don't even like to tell this story because people are going to think I'm so weird, but I had like a nightmare and I went into your room.
Yes.
And I was like, I literally think he's going to be on The Bachelor. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why. He lives in SoCal.
Yeah.
Like, he's the perfect type of person to be on that show. Like, has a very like loose job that you could just leave, whatever.
And I obviously said, you're crazy.
Yeah, you're like, shut up.
Yeah.
It was, it was a month ago. Like, it's over, whatever. He was on it.
He was.
And I had to watch my ex on the show.
Yeah.
Which was I didn't watch, obviously. I would just get
we watched.
You
Our
watched.
friends watched.
I was actually in LA, thank God,
and
filming the show.
And we would summarize it.
And you would summarize it in the nicest, softest way possible. So so no, I would not date like a fan or someone who just slid into my DMs because I'm a bit scarred from that.
Yeah.
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 I've never told that story.
I know. We're getting open here. Last question about your love life. How has corporate Natalie changed the way you date?
Oh my God. Immensely.
Yeah.
It's so difficult explaining this life to a potential partner. And especially like as a woman, it's just like a very hard pill for men to swallow of like, you're going to be the famous one. You're going to be recognized.
And
you're
the funnier one.
You're going to be funny.
Yeah.
Like it takes a real and very strong man to date me. But my partner in life will be someone who supports that wholeheartedly and thinks it's the coolest thing ever. I feel like I used to be ashamed of corporate Natalie in a way. I was just always so self-deprecating about it. I mean, do you have any, like you would see that firsthand?
I mean, I remember in the beginning when you'd get recognized, like sometimes we'd be walking through our neighborhood just in sweats, like no makeup, and she would get recognized. And Natalie used to like talk herself down in front of people like, oh my God, like I look like such an ogre. I'm like, what are you doing?
Totally. I'd make like some cutting remark about myself for no reason.
Yeah. And
like always.
And I would always correct you. Like we'd walk away. I'm like, why
do you keep saying that?
Like own it. Like you were this is an amazing thing. They're in love with you. That's why they're coming up to you, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
And so that's changed. And I think my confidence and my like approaching dating too.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a point of shame anymore. It's just like, I'm proud of this.
Yeah.
This is me. Like this is going to be a part of my life. It's going to be a part of our life if we date because I'm like a public person.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely changed, but I feel confident about it.
Okay. Well, those are all of our questions.
Okay. Thank you for like getting that out of me. I know you guys thought this was a work podcast,
I mean,
but actually it's a dating podcast.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into our favorite segment, a demoted, tried and true, promoted or demoted. Do we like it? Do we hate it?
Yes.
And this edition is, of course, stories and things that are very core to Katrina's and my friendship. So you're going to get some fun stories along the way. Let's get into it. Let's start light, something pretty fresh on our minds. Promoted or demoted, girls who do headstands in workout classes.
I mean, I'm going to have to say demoted because I can't do it.
The reason we're demoting this and the reason this is so top of mind is because this morning we did a core power class.
Yes.
And the girl next to Katrina was literally in a full headstand. She'd kick her legs up. Like,
oh my God.
We're just doing down dog, up dog, chaturanga.
Chaturanga.
And she's doing like flying, spinning, twirling dog.
Yes.
Suspended in midair.
I there was like wind on my left side from her kicks.
I couldn't stop looking at her.
Yeah.
And I have to, I'm like, everyone's on their own journey in their workout class. Like I support that. I felt like I was on her journey.
Yes.
I was just only looking at her the whole time. It was so much.
I mean, it's so impressive. Like
so impressive. And I have to demote it because we can't do it.
I hope one day I can do it.
You're never going to do a headstand.
I have no upper body strength.
I'm sorry. I love you. You'll
I'd
never
pass
do a
out
headstand.
before I land. I land.
Promoted or demoted, late nighting at the Sheraton Hotel on the Big Island of Hawaii.
My God.
You might be wondering, what do you mean late nighting at the Sheraton Hotel on the Big Island of Hawaii?
Yeah.
And as we mentioned, we quote unquote lived in Hawaii for 3 weeks.
Yes.
We were like locals. We went to the same bar every night.
We saw the same people.
We saw the same people.
Yeah.
We started to like know names.
Yes.
We played volleyball every night on the sand court.
Best memories.
Best memories there. And one particular night,
we went to this bar and there was a bachelor party. And it was a group of locals. We were starting to realize.
There.
Yes. Yeah. And, the night was ending. The bar was closing. And we lived about 2 feet from the bar.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's time to go home. I'm excited.
It's like 10 p.m. Things shut down in Hawaii. Yeah.
And all of a sudden this party bus rolls up outside of this bar and these boys start getting on and I'm walking away. And I'm like, wait, where's Natalie?
Hang
I
on.
turn around. She's climbing onto this party bus. I go, Natalie, we need to go home. And she goes, Katrina, let's make memories together. And of course, me being myself, I go, you know what? That's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
I'm going to follow you on this bus.
Let's
with
do it.
strangers. Yes.
Let's do it. Oh my God. We went to this hotel. They didn't even want us there.
No,
they
we were
did
the only girls
We were
on
the
this
only.
bus.
They're on a bachelor. They don't want us there.
Yeah.
It's not like we're strippers.
No.
Please.
No.
We're the worst possible. We're like, what are we doing,
I was wearing
boys?
like a high neck dress at this
Oh
point.
my God. Like it was just, we weren't welcome. We shouldn't have been there.
Well, we were the life of the party. I
Life
have
of the
to
party.
say.
And then the night ends and we're like, okay, great. Let's go to bed. Grab an Uber home, pulling it up. Hang on. No Ubers available. Okay. Katrina, can you check Lyft?
Oh, nothing available.
Okay. Hang on.
You're stranded.
You're on an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. We're completely stranded.
Yeah.
There's no Ubers, literally.
It's like 2 to 3 or 3 a.m.
We're at a hotel
Yeah.
that's 40 minutes away
Yes.
from our apartment.
Yeah.
And we have to go to the front desk. We're like, do you have a car service? Anything could take us? Like, what's happening? This poor man goes, my shift ends at 6 a.m. I'll take you guys. You can sleep in the business center.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
So we sleep in the business center in our dresses. I, of course, get on the couch.
No, there's one couch in this room. Obviously, Natalie takes the couch and she falls asleep immediately.
Good night.
So then
I'm snoring.
Yes, I have to, make a bed out of 2 chairs. And obviously,
You're sitting in a V.
I'm a 5'8" woman. I'm sleeping in a V position. I'm like, I'm so uncomfortable. I need to be home.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
It was
we
so
got
bad.
home next morning. Guy took
Yeah.
us at 6.
Yeah.
We were fine. But God, I'm going to have to promote
I'm going to promote as well.
late night. Did we make memories?
Yes, we
We're still
did.
telling them to this day.
I do it again.
I told you.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay. Promoted or demoted, revolve parties in LA.
Oh my goodness.
So one fun thing that comes with being a creator is getting invited to these fun little influencer events.
Yes.
And I took Katrina
Yes.
to this revolve party. It was like a Christmas theme.
Yes.
And the one I had gone to before, it was like Justin Bieber, Drake,
It was a party.
insane. It was
Yes.
a party.
So that's what I was expecting.
So you're expecting that.
Yeah.
And you come, we get Revolve credits. We get to get our dresses. You got your
Yes.
dress, your gorgeous
Yes.
emerald
Natalie
green
was like, you
dress.
know what? I'm going to let you pick whatever you want. And I was like, what should I wear? Like, I'm nervous. She's like, oh my God, like you need to get something where you're going to slay. And so I
Totally.
picked this little green mini dress with like sparkly buttons, something I'd never wear.
Something you never wear. You looked like
I look like a
sexy
hot
little
elf.
elf.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes.
And then we get like full glam.
Yes.
We're just like 2 idiots from
Yes.
San Francisco.
My heels
in
are
LA,
so high.
like wondering what the hell we're doing.
Yeah.
We go to this party. We're full glam. We're like, oh my God, this is our moment. Like,
Yes.
we're gonna see the Kardashians. Like, oh my
Yes.
God, we're gonna be famous. We walk in.
Girls are in crop tops and jeans.
Oh my God, we're so overdressed.
There's Air Force Ones everywhere.
This is the most embarrassing moment of my life. Oh my!
I kept trying to pull down my dress.
No, it was the worst. We literally had to leave early. We just went to dinner. We were like ashamed with our
Yes.
tail between our legs.
Yeah.
Like, this was not what we were expecting. Thank you, Revolve, for including us for sure. It was a night we'll remember forever, but I'm going to have to demote ourselves at that party.
And that dress.
And that dress has to be demoted.
Yeah.
Same with mine. I mean, we were so embarrassing. Oh my God. Promoted or demoted, Outside Lands.
I mean,
Outside Lands is like the Coachella of San Francisco, which is
Francisco,
such an
yes.
overstatement. It's just like our big festival.
yeah. And we've been going since we were in high school.
We go every year, and every year we say, we're never doing that again.
Yes.
Well, you cannot drag me back to that fairground. Like,
No.
I'm not going. And every year we
go
go back. One year in particular was Halloween. We were wearing wigs.
Oh my God.
And I distinctly remember looking over, it was 24K Golden was performing. We're all headbanging, freaking out. I pull my wig off. I'm in my wig cap and I look over, and even more offensive somehow than the wig cap, Katrina's wig starts here, and it's just wig cap and it's pulled back all the way to here. And she looked terrifying.
I looked so terrified.
And we thought we were slaying
I
in
thought
our
I was
wigs.
so hot that day.
We thought we were so hot. We looked so bad.
I mean, that ball cap like smelled so bad
It
at the end
was
of the
so
night.
bad. And what happened when we left the grounds of Outside Lands?
I mean, okay, so this is classic Natalie. We're leaving Outside Lands, and I just want to get out. Like, I'm starving.
It's
I
so
wanna
hard to
get out.
find an Uber. It's like
Yes.
just chaotic mayhem.
But Natalie's thinking ahead of the game and is like, I need to sell our wristbands because we're leaving early.
We're leaving early and we're not coming back or it's just a 1-day pass.
Yes. And I was telling Natalie, I'm like, no, like, let's go. She, of course, finds 2 people to sell our wristbands to.
Of course.
We make money. And she's like, this is for our DoorDash.
Venmo me $100. We DoorDash Chinese food.
That is you, like, coded.
Of course I'm going to make money before heading. The headliner hasn't even performed.
They gave us cash. I'm like, I'm rich.
We just made money back.
Yes.
I'm never going to miss an
like,
opportunity.
who does that?
Me. I'm
You.
a
You're a
hustler. Okay, so Outside Lands, I'm going to promote. We're probably, the lineup
We're
this year
probably
is
gonna go.
horrible. We're
Yeah.
probably still going to go.
We're still gonna go.
Okay, that was Promoted or Demoted. This episode was Corp Nat Uncovered,
Yes.
roommate edition.
Yeah.
Ross, we missed you.
I know.
But for all my followers out there, you got a little tea on the behind the scenes
I kind
about
of
me.
like hearing you speak about yourself.
Do you
like
like
you're getting
it?
vulnerable.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I know, that was fun. Okay, if you haven't smashed that subscribe button to the Demoted YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, please do. If you haven't left a review, we would love one. Katrina would love some nice words about her. If you have something mean to say about Katrina, don't you dare. You better say it about me. All right? Don't attack her. And as always, tune in next week on Demoted.